thing.
All the same thing in our neck of the woods.
Pretty much. So let's just get the disclaimer out. If you have the problem with the word nigga, this video is about you. If you have a problem with potheads, the people that drink on stream, this video is about you. What else? Y'all got anything else to add?
If you're also big on defending other people for them, this is for you.
Especially when the people you're trying to defend aren't mad, but you're mad for them. This is for you.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Because now you're just looking to start a problem.
If you think virtue signaling makes you better than everybody else, this is for you.
For a lot of people.
Yeah. we're starting to
like get over like most of the world, you know.
Yeah.
At this point.
Yeah.
But
or at least what most of the world thinks they are.
So let's start it off with sensitivity / lack of thick skin. Does anyone want to go?
Yeah, man. I think people just take things way too seriously nowadays, bro. Dude, like comedians can't even do their job without getting shit now.
Yeah, and these are people that are like tailor-made for a certain group of people that aren't supposed to be offended.
Yeah, literally. Like, as a comedian, like, your whole job is that, like, most of the time you're going to have an audience that's pretty open-minded about whatever jokes you're going to make. And even, like, that's hard to do. And that's the thing, right? Yeah, sure, it's just comedy. But the fact is, I think when you start getting triggered over comedy is a sign that things are starting to go wrong.
Yeah, and this, like, goes into a general, like, a more serious topic where it's like, if you're secure with your life, nothing should really trigger you. I mean, I get that there's like certain type of jokes where it's like those aren't even really jokes at that point. Like, let's say like your dad dies or something. It's like your dad died, haha. Like, obviously, like that. Even that wouldn't really offend me. But like I would
rape jokes and shit like that. That's too.
Yeah, exactly. Like there's things like that, but like that's just.
But no comedian actually has a set about rape jokes. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, no one does that. So
yeah, I mean, there's a couple of boundaries where it's like, but
if you're overly fucking emotional about things other people say that has no physical effect, like it has no physical bearing to your life, then you need to, you know what I'm saying? You need to seriously have a deep discussion with yourself, like a look at who you are. If words can so concretely change your feelings and emotions.
Yeah, because these type of people, like, they're so affected by what others say because they just care so much about what they say, and a lot of that has to do with how much time they spend on the internet. And it's like, if you, I'm gonna just put it like this: if you are not pathetic, then you are spending all your time, unless it's like work or something, you're getting paid, you are spending all your time doing what you want to do. So you're not going to be in contact with these people. These people aren't really going to affect you in any way because you're just going to be out enjoying yourself. And that really comes to the crux of it, where these people just have sad lives. They don't really enjoy their life. So, you know, they have to find some meaning in a way. And that's a big part of the sensitivity, where they feel like they're part of some like holier than thou movement. And they think they're actually doing something. And they're like, my life has meaning. A huge part of it is wanting attention, because they really, like, the virtue signaling, like we were saying, like, they think it brings meaning to their miserable lives. Like, they're fucking sad all the time, and they pretty much want everyone else to be as sad as they are. So they also want some sort of gratification. I guess something a lot of people care for is like how they'll be remembered. So they want this attention. They want to, you know, seem like a good person, and they'll be remembered for that. And it's just something where they're like, this is something at least I could be proud of, you know, because they have such low, like, fucking worth that they just want to be proud of something.
See, I also think they get convinced a lot by big celebrity figures that don't actually follow through with it. Like, I think a lot of celebrities
real quick, let me mention something. And a reason for this is because a lot of people, they want to believe they have nuanced opinions. They want to believe that they have something interesting to say. So when they hear someone like mention something, and they might not necessarily do the research to really have an informed opinion, but they just echo it because they want to like bring something to a discussion table. Like, they want to pretend they have opinions that actually matter.
Yeah, that's fair.
I'm gonna say everybody wants to feel useful and needed. No one wants to walk into a conversation and feel like they're literally just taking up air.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that's
but what was the next topic you wanted to get?
I was gonna say, so big social media figures and celebrities, right? a lot of them post about and kind of push forward this snowflake mentality, the cancel culture, right? And I think that it's not followed through with a lot of the time on their end, while they want people to do it, right? Like they want your average person, they'll go on Twitter, they'll go on social media, they'll make reports, right? And they'll kind of be very accepting of this whole cancel culture thing. You know what I mean? And they'll like basically they'll contribute to the snowflake mentality and say like, well, you can't say this, you can't say that, right? But here's my issue. I don't think they don't do it, and it's been clear if you look at any point earlier in their lives that they don't do it. And obviously this isn't all of them, but there are a select few that are very, very hypocritical.
Yeah, and it is funny in general, like shit like Keemstar still being on the internet. Like there's just like clear inconsistencies where it's like, how is he still a thing? You know?
Yeah, straight up, I think we all remember.
I don't even know who that is.
He says some real racist shit on a live stream. And I mean, he's still chilling. He's still very popular. I mean, same with PewDiePie, bro.
That's the thing, though, my nigga. You have to understand about racist speech is not illegal. So as long as you still have a group of people that vibe with your speech, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you can say whatever you want. Just like this is literally how Trump like got power. He spoke to what a lot of people were thinking indoors in their own homes. He spoke it out loud. He made them brave enough and strong enough as a group to speak these truths publicly. That's all it is. It's not that this dude didn't have these beliefs before. He had those beliefs before. Now he's recording himself. He still has those beliefs. He's not going to change his beliefs unless, like, you know what I'm saying, the money changes around him. And there's still plenty of racist people out there that will watch a racist white boy or a racist black person. You know what I'm saying? So it won't matter until it affects their bottom dollar. And that's really...
For the Trump example, he pays to, get his message out there. And, like, there's, like, some legitimacy to being a president where you kind of have to respect it more. While for other people, like, if you're a person in social media, like, let's say you're a famous Twitch streamer or a famous YouTuber, the platform itself could just wipe you out. Like, they could be like, we don't like the message you're spreading.
It could. I know. I'm not saying it couldn't. It could, but that's to say that there's not racist people in YouTube. Or not even racist people, but opportunistic people that are saying, well, fuck it. Even if he's saying something that I might not necessarily agree with, I might necessarily like vibe with that, what he's saying, it's still bringing the YouTube platform and the YouTube algorithm still making money off of it. So I'm not about to take him down. You know what I'm saying? It's like that type of complicitness.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Once you get big enough, like what I think it is though, is I think they're very quick to cancel anybody that ain't worth money. And that's for obvious reasons. Cause at the end of the day, for them, it's all about the money, but it's just, and I mean, this is a story as old as time. Those with money get, a lot of breaks.
Yeah, and then at the end of the day, that's the reason why cancel culture is the thing, because these platforms don't really give a fuck. All they care about is money, but if there's enough backlash, then they're going to be like, this might cut into our image, which might cut into our money. Right. It might fuck with the sponsors. We might get in some trouble.
Money. Yeah,
that's what I was about to say. Like, in a sense, I do understand cancel culture. Maybe not the whole, like, just canceling freedom and like canceling certain things people say, but like what was the guy's name? King whatever. Like if
Keemstar?
if I was watching him, right, and watching his streams, watching his shit, and then he said this racist shit, me personally, I wouldn't continue to watch him. I would unsubscribe or whatever. Would I then go on my social media and tell other people to unsubscribe? I doubt it. You know what I'm saying? Because it's not that serious to me. But I do understand, like, if if somebody takes a stance that is vehemently against yours, like, on a personal level, then fuck it. Don't, why fuck with that person? Why continue to watch the content you don't fuck with?
Yeah, I mean, there's nothing wrong with not wanting to watch it yourself. But, like,
right.
And this gets, like, more complex when it's, like, it's not just outwardly, like, super racist shit. It's, like, something that you can debate is if it's a bad message to spread across or not. And then, like, if it's something that even goes, like, slightly against, like, how they think, then it's not just going to be like, I'm not going to watch it. It'll be like, I'm going to tell everyone to do as much as they can because this person's X, Y, and Z, and they need to be fucking obliterated.
Yeah, of course. See, I think the one thing I don't like, though, is I think a lot of people, like, don't understand, like, they don't understand that what they're doing right? They think they're being backed because it's the right thing to do, when in reality 90% of the time it's just about money. And that's how it is for a lot of these celebrities that come out and say this,
Mm-hmm.
they don't
Yeah.
they don't like, you know what I mean, like they don't
truly
support you. They
the
don't support you.
cause.
They
They
don't
support the
believe.
image around
Yeah,
the cause.
exactly. Right. They're just doing this because they think it puts their name in a good light, but they don't really support you. And I think a lot of people just don't get that it's about the money, and it's so many levels. It's about the money, and like, dude, they don't care about you as the average person. Like, let's be real, bro. They do not care about you whatsoever. They care about the money you could make them. That's about it.
And they care about they care about manipulating people's emotions.
Exactly.
Because honestly, that's all it is. Is you take a situation, you get a bunch of people riled up about it to like hide from like the real shit that's going on.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because anger is like the best way to gain popularity. Like even like Bush, like fuck Bin Laden, all that shit. We're gonna do something about them, and like people get angry.
There is no world in which Bush gets reelected had there not been a war.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just crazy how people gloss over not gloss over it, but like they seek it so much that it's just by far the best way to get popular.
Yeah. No, of course.
We
as
a society have become addicted to toxicity.
Pretty much.
Whether it be like in our relationships, on TV, like politically, it's just we as a community in America have truly become. If it doesn't bring drama, it doesn't feel right.
Yeah.
You know
I mean, even like social media, bro. Open up any social media. Yeah. Open up any social media platform. Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. The biggest ones, right? Open up any one. Pull up any post on a page with a decent amount of followers. You will find thousands of people arguing about the most worthless shit. Just arguing. Just coming at each other.
One example, I saw this recently. Like people are like, we need to change the name of the Latino community into the Latinx community because that is like that doesn't like specify us like a certain gender. And like I just like look at the comment section. All the Latinos are like, this is retarded. I like the way Latino sounds way better. What the fuck? And like all the people that aren't Latino, it's like, no, you should be angry. Why aren't you angry? We're angry for you, so be angry.
Bro. Not to mention, I don't think they understand the Spanish language. If it's a lady, you say Latina, Right. It's really that simple. Like,
and if it's a dude, you say Latino.
I'm saying, bro, and I'm telling you, bro, it's these like unseasoned chicken, like, you know what I mean? Like, you know the people I'm talking about, bro. Those are the people pushing this, dude.
Yep.
It's ridiculous, bro. It's people with no sense of culture whatsoever, bro.
My man said the unseasoned chicken group. That's
bro. But that's my problem. I also think part of it is that some people with no culture whatsoever want to feel part of some culture so badly. And they think by stepping up for them and, being social justice heroes for them, that makes them a part of that culture, when it doesn't, because they're looking at this and they're like, come on, like this is like,
and
we don't
it's
want
crazy because given that point of view, you would think that if the people you're trying to like join their culture say fuck you, then that's enough for you to be like, all right, I stepped out of bounds. But they like triple down on that shit.
Yeah, straight up. And they form their own little culture, and I just don't think they like understand like what they're doing half the time, honestly. I think they're just doing it to follow the trends too. Yeah, I mean that's fair.
None of us do, my nigga. Like not to say, I'm not trying to sit here and say I'm some super enlightened dude, but like we all just going through the flow, following things we like, disliking things we don't. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. It's just how deeply you let that echo chamber, how deeply you will let the outside affect you is the problem. But we all do it.
Yeah, no doubt about it. I mean, that's just how people have always been, Nobody can say nobody can come and tell me that they're, completely enlightened and they do absolutely everything on their own volition. Like, there's very few people like that.
Yeah, you have to do a lot of research to be like that. At the very least, I can say I'm consistent in all my views, or at least, like, maybe if you go to, like, a super deep debate with, like, someone that's specialized in each of the views, and, like, I have a debate with every single one of them, maybe I'll, like, change some viewpoints. But for the most part,
that's why
I'm pretty
people
consistent.
Specialize. Yeah, but that's why, because I mean, one person is just not capable of that. That's why we have millions of people in each different
I wouldn't go that far. It's just more of a laziness issue where if you want to do the research, you can. It's not. Well, it's not that hard.
You can't research every single thing ever. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but then you don't really have a stance on every single thing ever. It's like the things that you care about that you really talk about.
Yeah, of course. But yeah. Oh, also on top of that, I will say the virtue signaling has gone so far in the sense that like during the whole Black Lives Matter movement, bro, I swear I saw some people mad racist, and then all of a sudden they're for the cause and like supporting it. Like I'm talking some people I know that are like behind, not even behind closed doors, bro. Like even like with like decently sized groups of people, said some racist ass shit, and then all of a sudden, you know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean,
the second everybody's doing it, they're jumping on top of it, you know?
I would try to say, I would hope that, you know what I'm saying, they're not, because like what would you get out of it?
I will say this, it's not like a large amount of people. It's not like a big issue.
Just, like they have genuinely seen the error and, you know what I'm saying, have changed.
Of course. Views. I mean, yeah, of course. You could always hope for that, but you know, there are some cases where I didn't. I mean,
the irony in all this is that I don't trust Black Lives Matter at all. I feel like they just take advantage of pretty much the hatred and anger people have, so they're like everyone else in a sense.
I feel like there is some sketchy parts to it. Yeah, like I mean, well, yeah, like the organization. Yeah, I get where you're coming from, definitely.
Bro, like this is kind of like hard to even fathom being true, but apparently, like this year since George Floyd's death, they've made $14 billion.
Jesus Christ.
That's not hard to believe.
14.
You gotta think how many
donations.
I was about to say you gotta think about where they're getting their donations from. Wealthy black patrons and white patrons who
just companies in general.
Yeah, true. A lot of companies. Yeah.
But what I'm saying is like how many cases since George Floyd have had, like how many like police brutality cases since George Floyd has happened? You know what I'm saying? They get the lawyers for these families and shit. So it's like I don't know exactly everything that they do, but I'm not trying to like. I wouldn't say that they're like a criminal organization.
No, they're definitely not a criminal organization. I wouldn't say that at all.
I think it's borderline that because it's like every time like a black man dies to a white man, like now they're like racing out to like bring out the story. But then other stories, like let's say all the like how bad Chicago is, like they don't give a fuck about trying to advocate for that. And it's just anytime something that goes good for them, like they could use it to make a lot of money, now they're racing out, they're ready to talk about it.
I mean, in a sense, I get what you're saying, but also you have to pick one. You can't fight every battle all the time. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, if I have $14 billion, I can fight a lot of battles.
Yeah. I mean, 14 bills sounds like a lot, my nigga, but when you stretch that out over the entirety of United States, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's not just like one person having 14 bill. This is a whole organization having 14 bill. And I'm not saying that is a small amount of money, but you got to do some research as to what they do with that. Because I'm pretty sure that they help get lawyers and things like that for the families to help cover court costs. Because it's like, bro, it's like, my nigga, this shit is crazy. Like, if you just look at the police brutality cases that have like occurred, not even since George Floyd, but even before that, bro, like the shit, like something has to change. And the only way you're going to make change in this country is with money.
Yeah, money or attention, one of those. Because attention brings money.
Well, attention leads to money, yeah.
That's what I'm saying. You need both. You need enough attention that people give a fuck, and then once people give a fuck, they donate money in order to help you push that agenda.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Devil Egg, that is scary, Gary. He goes by Ghazi these days.
Mm-hmm.
Gary, that's funny.
Nah, scary, Gary.
You said scary, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, scary. Yeah, it was just
scary,
my,
Gary.
what was it? I was my username for a little bit. I was just like, I think it was my Discord name for a little bit too. Yeah.
But yeah, man, it's like, I don't know. People just need to mind their own business when it comes to certain things.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah, I think people just need to stop fighting other people's battles. I think that's the biggest part of it.
For sure. Just worry about yourself. People are selfish beings for a reason.
I would say, like, obviously, if people are asking for help, 100%, like, lend a hand if you feel like that's something you can do. But, like, don't pull shit out of thin air, you know? Like, stop pulling things out of thin air to, I mean, more or less bring attention to yourself, right? Like, we know, like, a lot of these people, nah, I won't say a lot. That's way too much of a generalization. There are a couple people out there, though, that they will bring things up purely because they want to be known as the person who brought it up.
I mean, I think it's fair to even say a lot, because how many people on social media sites where they're like, they'll get 100 likes or something, and to them that means like the world, and you just like can't fathom why that matters, but to them it's just so important.
Yeah.
Like that alone, it's like people love attention.
I mean, they've done, you know, they've done a lot of research on it. It's the instant gratification, you know, it's that instant feeling of like, ooh, a like, you know, it's very, I don't know, it's just very controlling over some people.
Because that's how you monetize things nowadays.
Yeah.
That's literally that's how the world works. And like in today's social media era, if you get fucking 100,000 likes on a picture, you can make money off of that picture. You know what I'm saying? If you got 100,000 likes on a video, you can make money off of that video. So people strive for that shit because they want the shit that they see on TV. They want the money. They want the Birkin bag or the Lamborghini.
I don't buy that. Like most of these people know that there's like the slimmest chance of them getting any money, especially when it's like not 100,000 likes. It's like 100 or like 200 or whatever.
That's fair. Yeah, I think it's not like that bad because I think
shoot your shot, right?
I feel like, well, yeah, because there's definitely plenty of people out there that have like a clear plan, and maybe they're thinking like, hey, like maybe by doing this thing that I'm good at or this thing that people like hearing about, I can make some money, you know. But I think most people know that if they're not doing anything necessarily special, then that's not gonna happen.
Like I know plenty of people that make videos on content that they don't necessarily care about, but they know the world cares about it, so they'll make a video about it. You know what I'm saying? Shit like that.
Of course, yeah. That's fair.
Devil Egg said, I feel like the best thing would be to react appropriately. People usually overreact to stuff. I mean,
that's a fact.
That is a fact. That is technically a fact, but when you say that to someone, it doesn't mean anything to them because it's just like a general statement. So they're just gonna tell you that their reactions aren't overreacting, you're underreacting, and then you're gonna get into some dumbass argument.
They're gonna deny the fact that they're overreacting because when people overreact, they usually don't realize it.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, yo, when like you talking to your bros and you could be talking about anything, like from sports, anime, it doesn't matter, but like you get into a heated discussion, you're like, damn, bro, chill. He's like, nah, what you mean, chill? I ain't like, bro, you screaming, yelling, we just talking about football, bro. Relax. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, so that shit happens, you know what I'm saying?
I think that's also in part due to social media, bro. Because I'm telling you, bro, go on any sports page in the world, any like Bleacher Report, House of Highlights, even like some small page with 20,000 followers, dudes beefing in the comments for nothing. For nothing, bro. It's like, damn, like everybody has.
Who's watching NASCAR?
Some fucking douchebag outside of my house driving fast as fuck. Ain't no NASCAR.
I was about to say, niggas watching NASCAR, like.
Speaking of wanting attention, douchebag driving really fast so people can look at his car.
Yeah, nah, I hate that shit. Yeah. I hate that word. Like, why does your car have to be so fucking loud? Like,
right? I promise you, no one gives a fuck.
Like, if it's the music that you bump in, cool, I'll bump with you. You know what I'm saying? Depending on the song. But if it's just like your muffler and your engine is just fucking roaring for no reason, that shit is so annoying.
Yeah.
I hate that, man.
Like,
true. No, but Devil Egg made a good point. Like, people do tend to overreact, like, way too. Like, bro, dudes on the internet will literally, someone will make a single statement, like, I think this isn't that good. Dudes will just come out calling him like a filthy piece of shit, and like, you know what I mean? Like they will just come at your life because you don't like something they like, or vice versa. You know?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And I think it goes both ways. People like, I think although you're not being sensitive, I would say that's still kind of like that's still being a snowflake, freaking out on people because they don't share your opinions.
Like Star Wars fans.
Like here's an example pertaining to like UFC, right? Like let's say a fighter, he thinks I would beat this person, and everyone's like, no, you won't. You haven't proven that. Your competition isn't good enough to say that. And they'll get like so mad, like they'll try to shit on this guy's life just because he has an opinion. Like, okay, he thinks he would beat a guy. Like, who fucking cares? Like, if he proves it, good. If he doesn't, whatever. And it's like a part of it too is like they're mad that they're not in that position. So they're like, if you're in this position that I'm too much of a bitch to ever try to achieve, then you have to be humble. You can't be arrogant. because like you're already getting to live the dream that I can't. Like, don't you dare fucking step out of bounds with that shit. You better be under control.
They want to live through people. It's so weird.
100%, yeah.
And honestly, I think it feeds into the issue too, because let's say you're an up and coming UFC fighter, right? And you're just sitting there and you see someone make a statement, or you see McGregor talking shit, right? And you're like, yeah, people may get mad, but like you're sitting there like, yo, look how many people are talking about him. Like, this dude wasn't even fighting a main card fight. All he did was talk a little bit of shit, and now everybody's talking about him, blowing up social media. Literally exactly what Jake Paul's doing. Exactly what Jake Paul's doing. And that's what you do. When you as a person and you as a collective people decide to start getting angry about stupid things and bringing that much attention to it, people are going to abuse that to make money.
100%.
It's that simple, right? You cannot.
What was the last fight McGregor actually won?
He beat Cerrone.
Cerrone.
3 months ago.
No, that was like last year.
Oh no, wait, I'm bugging. Yeah, that was a while ago.
Because the last thing I remember, he got beat by Floyd, and then he got knocked out recently. That was the only 2 fights I remember. So
yeah,
he's been on a skid.
Shit, I mean, what can you say, though? You got to give McGregor credit. Don't get me wrong. Like, it is kind of... I don't like the way it works, but I feel like that falls more on the people. Because, like, shit, bro, if I'm McGregor and when I start talking shit, dudes start talking about me, and it makes me extra millions because of the popularity around my fights, just because I talk shit. And he's an incredible fighter, of course. But
I mean, but you got to win. You got to win these fights. He got his ass knocked the fuck out.
No, of course, but you got to look before that, obviously. A lot of his popularity came from the fact that, like, before basically he lost to Khabib and Floyd and all that, like, he was one of the select few fighters to hold a belt in 2 weight classes.
And even then, in his recent fight, he still did good. It's just his game plan was
very rusty. Yeah, very. Yeah, you could tell.
All I'm saying is, me personally, I don't care how anybody feels about this. I don't care what your past is. I don't care what your record say. If you talk mad shit and get knocked the fuck out, you a bitch. I don't care.
I don't agree. I don't agree because some people in the UFC, they talk shit because it's just part of the sport and like it motivates them to actually like train harder and back it up.
How many rounds did it go? This latest fight?
2.
I think he didn't shit talk Poirier though.
Yeah, he actually didn't shit talk this time.
Yeah, he didn't like shit talk him once. It was like
he didn't talk bad about him, but he said he was gonna knock him out in 60 seconds. So that is kind of talking shit.
I mean, yeah. To be fair, all right. That is, yeah, he got it there.
Yeah, I'm just saying. Like, that's just me personally. Like, I just
but that's the thing, though. Like, I don't think, like, I think at that point for him, it's like worth it to make these controversial statements because they just bring more hype and make him more money.
And I don't think everyone has to be like, well, I don't know how the fight's gonna go. The fight game is unpredictable. You know, anything could happen. Imagine if everyone's interview ever was like that. Like, people can think that they're gonna do something, and
that'd be really boring if you think about it. That'd be really boring if every fight they came in and they were like,
was humble.
Yeah, like
I like humble fighters though.
I get, and 100%, I'm with that. Like, I do like, I respect humble fighters, right? Like the dudes who don't talk a lot of shit. But every here and there, you do need that dude that stirs shit up and backs up his results, you know? And McGregor was that guy for a while.
Yeah, but all I'm saying is like Mayweather. Mayweather talk his shit, but Mayweather wins. You know what I'm saying? That's all I'm saying. If you're going to talk that shit, you got to win every time.
Of course, but, you know, don't forget, McGregor did a hell of a lot of winning back when he was talking shit.
Yeah, all
right. I mean,
y'all watch. Y'all watch more UFC than me, so I'll take your point. I'll take your word for it.
Yeah, it's like the same thing, but of course, I mean, like obviously,
to a certain extent, he definitely comes off as delusional because he talks like he's like the greatest ever when he hasn't exactly proved that. But if you're someone with McGregor's skill, I can see why you think I am the greatest. I just need to prove it.
Didn't y'all just say he hasn't had a major like card fight? Like he hasn't like fought any major opponents?
No. McGregor held 2 belts in the UFC. He's like
we were
one
talking
of
about like recently.
Yeah, I was talking about a hypothetical.
I think
McGregor. Although it's been a while since McGregor's had a big fight, like through 2013 to 17, like he held the lightweight and the featherweight. I think he held both of those belts, which. Like, I know you, like you said, you don't watch a lot of UFC, but I think the numbers are like there's less than 10 fighters in history that have held 2 belts at the same time. So he's part of a pretty exclusive club. You know what I mean?
Like I said, like at the end of the day, he has the skill set to warrant the confidence, even if he might not be exactly correct. I don't think there's a problem with being confident and saying you're gonna do this and that.
Yeah, of course, but at the end of the day, sometimes it doesn't even come down to confidence, bro, because you know for a fact Jake Paul would get worked by any, like, good MMA fighter like McGregor, right? But he will still talk shit. You know why? Money. That's it. That's the sole reason.
Yeah,
Money.
that's a big reason too.
And that's the thing. Like, it feels a lot like it's a lot more entertaining for the fans when it's actually, like, real confidence and, like, they're actually talking, like, they're not just doing it for money. You know what I mean? They're talking shit because they're actually confident, and you're like, oh, it's going to be a great fight. And nowadays, you have these guys who just look at this whole situation and they see the snowflakes, basically. They look at this and they say, wow, these dudes really just get mad over nothing, and I can use that to my advantage. And why wouldn't they? Right?
Devil Egg said, I was here for the first... I was here. Did you say you wasn't here? Yeah, he wasn't here for the first 25 minutes to find Snowflake. Well, to me, I have a pretty extreme definition of it. To me, if words can get you angry, period, you're kind of a snowflake. And then there's like varying levels to it. Like, obviously, there's some people are more snowflake than others, but I feel like if you're secure with yourself, there's nothing anyone can really say to get you truly angry. Like, you can get pissed off, like, not necessarily pissed off, you can get ticked off and, like, be annoyed. Annoyed isn't really the same thing as angry, but if you get genuinely angry at anything anyone says, I kind of feel like...
I mean... I think maybe to shift the definition a little bit towards things that personally affect you, because I think if someone came out and said, like, I mean, what's like an extreme example? Dudes who deny the Holocaust. Like, don't get me wrong, I'm not like furious, but I'm like, that's just like not right, you know? Like, that's just like that's a little frustrating to hear.
Yeah, I wouldn't necessarily say that reaction of yours is anger, though. It's more like, yeah, frustration and, like, annoyance. Like, what the fuck? Why would you say that? But it's not like...
But I feel like, but, like, what if you were like, if I was Jewish and, like, someone denied the Holocaust, I'd be furious. Especially, like, people who actually, like, you know, had family members who experienced. I mean, would you not be, like, angry about that?
One, for me, I'm going to automatically assume they're a troll, and they're just trying to get me angry. Yeah. And then, other than that, I mean... I don't really care what the person thinks. Like, regardless of whether you denied it, what happened. Like, the good and the bad from that, you can take out of that whatever you want. It's just the person, like, he's irrelevant to me. Like, it doesn't really change how I feel about the situation. Like, I don't, like, if I was Jewish and the Holocaust happened, I don't need the gratification, or not the gratification, just, like, the attention of everyone needs to tell me that this is terrible and, like, this is a travesty or whatever. Like, we all know it. I don't need.
Of course not. Nobody needs to say that. But, like, I think, like, certain like egregious statements are just.
Yeah, because if somebody tried to deny slavery to me, I ain't
that's what I'm saying,
like,
right?
Angry.
Yeah, like that would make you angry, and that's reasonable.
That might,
but I think
might tick me off. Like, what the fuck are you talking about?
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, like I think like very egregious statements towards a whole. I think it's fair to say that you can call someone a snowflake if you can make them very angry by just personally insulting them.
That's fair. But, like, for example, like, Albanians, like, they have a rough history of getting mistreated, and, like, there's nothing anyone could say about them that would really make me be like, ooh, like...
I mean, that's fair, but I don't know. I mean, I'll give you credit. Like, you have a pretty good amount of discipline in that stuff, but I think you just can't assume everybody will be like that. Now, I do think people shouldn't be getting angry so easily because someone doesn't share an opinion as them, but I do think there are certain things within the boundary, like certain statements that just push it too far.
Yeah,
you know?
Certain statements, like, I'm never gonna be like, I can't see why you would think getting mad about the Holocaust in that way. Like, why would you? Like, I'm not gonna say that.
That's what I'm saying. But there's also other examples too. Like, I think, yeah, but I'm not gonna like sit here and list off examples. But I think it's more of a thing where I think being a snowflake is just getting overly angry at things that are basically minimal, right? Like stupid insults, people don't agreeing with you.
It's just being it's just being overly emotional. That's it.
Yeah, you know what? That's the best definition. Straight to the point.
You are overly emotional.
Overly emotional, 100%.
And like a big part of that too is like depending on how much research you do, because if you haven't like heavily researched the topic and you know the nuances of all the conversations, you just have like some generic opinion and you still get overly emotional, like that's like so much worse.
Yeah.
It's like you like if you're having a discussion with a friend or something, then you shouldn't get to like, you know what I'm saying, your emotions should never get to the point where like you're physically breaking something or you're ready to fight simply over words. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's fair.
You know what I'm saying? That's snowflake shit.
Yeah, I mean, you should be able to have reasonable discussions.
Unfortunately, people who hear things and they become instantly depressed. You're a snowflake. You know what I'm saying? I don't like you said. There's nothing any one person should be like. There's nothing someone should be able to say to you that should be able to just make you completely depressed.
That's fair.
Even if somebody said, "Yo, you're ugly," all right, cool. You know what I'm saying? Like I know that. Like
that's a great segue actually, because that's something I wanted to talk about. And it's not just being ugly; it's being stupid or even being mentally retarded, being fat. Like all these things, it's like people will go so far to where they could be fat as shit, right? And they just don't have the willpower or whatever to work out. So instead of just accepting that they're mentally weak and it's like maybe something they need to work on, they just be like, well, being fat is healthy. Nothing wrong with being fat. Like they have to convince themselves that it's not their fault. There's no fault of theirs, you know, in any single way. Nothing. Like no faults. They're perfect. And anyone that's fat shaming, even if it's like not even fat shaming, it's just like, hey, you should probably work out, you know, it's probably healthier for your body. You're gonna really reap the benefits of that later on in your life. And you're like, you fat shaming me? What the fuck? Like shit like that is just ridiculous. And even when it comes to being stupid, like I would honestly rather be mentally retarded than be a snowflake, because at least like mentally retarded people and like handicapped people in general, like obviously they live harder lives for various reasons, but at least a lot of them try to make the most out of it and they're genuinely happy people a lot of the time. I would rather be like mentally defective in some way and be happy than just be miserable all the time.
I mean, that's fair. I think people just need to be able to look at themselves and just say, you know, I'm okay with this or I'm okay with that. And if you're not, change it, you know? If you're fat and you're content, so be it. It's your life, right? And you know, you can just accept that. And if you really hate being fat, then make the changes needed.
Yeah, it gets to a certain point where it's like, for example, like I'll watch Weekend, right? And he'll play Smite. Someone will do something stupid in Smite, and it'll be like, "That was dumb. Like, why would you do that? That makes no sense." And people get mad at that too. It's like, no matter what someone does, like they could do the retardedest shit in the game, like where you'd be like, "You have zero common sense. What the fuck was that?" And just the fact that you called it out, they're like, "Why would you call that out?" It's like being bad at things is too much for them. Like, how could you say I'm bad at something? Me being bad is offensive. And it's like that's the type of shit where it's like why participation trophies are a thing, because even losing is offensive to these people. They want to get some like sort of gratification. Where it's like, I
that makes no
man.
sense. That makes no sense to me.
Yeah.
If you don't come in first, second, or third, nigga, you get nothing. And if it's football, you don't get anything for second or
unless
third.
You get first, yeah. Literally.
That shit makes no sense.
Nah,
you get a trophy for showing up. Like what?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, bro. Like when I was younger, bro, there was no participation trophies, and I'm not even that old. That's the crazy part.
Man, things have changed so much since we was like I can honestly say New York has gotten so soft since I was a child, and I'm talking like school wise. I'm talking just like my nigga. When I was growing up, we had a bus strike, we had an MTA strike, and a blizzard at the same time. You know what they told us? School was delayed for 2 hours.
Yeah, that's funny. I think I've had some shit like that happen to me.
Like nowadays, if it snows more than 3 inches, school's canceled. Like what? Like this is New York City, and they literally canceling school because it's 6 inches of snow. So yo, we had to truck it uphill in a blizzard. No buses. Like they still have it's crazy now. Like everything is so soft. You can't play sports the right way. You can't talk to people right. Like
you can't be better than people. If you're better than someone at a skill, then that's offensive.
Yeah. True.
Nah, I feel like honestly, I feel like that's the only thing. I feel like competitive sports is the only thing.
Yeah, true. No, competitive sports still do have some integrity.
Yeah, where it's like
a little bit, but then that comes the humble thing. It's like if you're gonna be that offensive to where you're better than me, then you better not brag about it in the slightest way. Like don't flaunt at all.
Right. I'm about to say like yeah, like if I dunk on you, I can't flex or I get a tech. Like nigga, what? Like what are you talking about? If I moss you in football and score a touchdown, I can't talk shit. Otherwise, I get a penalty. It's like, come on. Everybody's so fucking soft now. Like,
yeah, that's true.
Devil Egg said, I love when people try to make up words to make you seem like a bad person, like fat phobia or horophobic. Is that supposed to be being?
I have no.
Wait.
Could you spell it out?
WHORA and then phobic.
Oh, like. Oh,
I guess pertaining to whores.
Yeah.
Like adding phobia is gonna make me feel bad. I mean, yeah, and that's like where a lot of these gender politics come in. It's like they change the definitions, and now they're like, well, that's technically not the definition. It's like, I don't care if you change the definition. Like, that literally doesn't matter to me.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. That always bugs me a
Man
bit
said
too. Because
whorephobia.
also people want the world to cater to them way too much, and it's like, look, no matter what you do in life, there's gonna be people who don't like you. Like, it's really that simple. Like, you could be a good person, there's still gonna be people that don't like you. You just have to learn how to accept that.
And like pretty much like all the social media outlets, like they promote this type of behavior where it's like everyone cater to me, and that's why this whole sensitivity issue is a thing, because you can't be sensitive to anyone, but people are like offended by so many things. And it's like, this is why suicide rates are so high, because you can't just fix a problem by putting a band-aid on it. Like, eventually you have to fucking teach these people to have actual maturity, and
I mean,
like, care about the right
when you teach kids that they're all, that they all can be special without doing anything. You're not, like, simply put,
Everybody is
you
special.
cannot,
Nobody's special.
you cannot be special unless you actually do something special. Hey, if you want to have a little ego because you're like, I mean, let's say most common, right? It's like professional sports, and everybody's got to give them credit. They put in a lot of work to get there. Right? They have a good life. They make a lot of money, and they compete at the highest level. Most of them push themselves to their absolute physical limits, right? And at that point, if you can, I understand having the confidence to, like, talk your shit, basically.
Yeah, even if you don't agree with it, because I'm not really the type of person to like openly brag like that. But even if you don't agree with like flaunting like that, it's not like I care because of that. Like, if you want to flaunt, then go ahead. Like, you've earned it. You fucking worked your ass off for this. Like, I don't care.
Yeah.
And Devil Egg says whorephobic. People use it like when you won't date a sex worker or don't approve of it as honest work. I mean, that depends on your definition of honest work, I guess. But for the first part, I mean, there's nothing wrong with that.
Nah,
there really is nothing wrong with that, because people like won't date people for like the weirdest reasons, like you're not fucking tall enough, or you don't make enough money. Like, if people can have shallow reasons for pretty much so many different facets, like, why
that's
can't...
one thing you can't touch that, though. No, you can't. But you can't touch that, bro. If you don't want to date someone for whatever reason, that is your preference.
Like, I'm saying, it's a difference. Like, for me personally, it's a difference saying, well, shorty got a lot of bodies, and then saying shorty's like a porn star or like a prostitute. You know what I'm saying? I wouldn't. Myself personally would never willingly date a prostitute.
I mean, yeah, there's nothing wrong with that. That's personal preference.
I don't
nobody
know if
should.
That, like,
nobody should have say in your prep. Nah, there's no such thing as phobia. Like, you can't have a phobia because you won't date. I'm not homophobic because I won't date a man, bro. Like, it's like,
and sometimes it even gets that far, bro. Like,
that's what I'm saying, bro. You're not transphobic because you won't date a man who became a woman.
Nah, who did they try to label? What was this nigga's name? Genuine. He wouldn't kiss a trans woman, and niggas really tried to cancel him. Like,
that's what I'm saying, bro. It's like, bro,
funny.
Like, shit like that. Like, when it comes to like dating and sexual preference, bro, you cannot tell people what to do because that's fucked up on its own.
You gotta kiss this. Like, nah, I'm good. I'm straight,
right, bro? Like, how you gonna, like? That shit's harassment of some sort, right? Like, that's some weird shit.
Definitely. That's
harassment of some sort.
That's mental illness, 100%.
Bro, that is, you cannot try and cancel someone because
it's only
of, like,
harassment if a guy does it.
Yeah.
Devil Egg said, willingly, a prostitute finna force Twale to smash. He's saying you're gonna meet Snoo Twale. What do you think about that?
What?
Wait,
remember South Park?
Tie me up?
What was that bitch?
Nah, that was Futurama with the Amazon bitches. Yeah, they went to the Amazon planet. Snoo, and them niggas died from having sex. But nah, you said she gonna force. Like, listen, I'm. What does forcing me to have sex have to do with having a relationship?
Yeah, I don't know. I think that was just a joke.
I think that was I'm not too sure about that one.
Yeah, I was confused. I'm like,
I don't know. I'm kind of offended at that comment.
Straight up.
Oh man.
But I don't know.
That just took a left turn. Thanks, Devil Egg.
Yeah. I just think everybody wants to be the hero though, and that's what it comes down to at the end of the day. Pushing this idea that everybody's special makes everybody want to be the hero.
That. Fuck that.
That's what I'm saying, bro. Like I can live my life
no,
perfectly fine not being the hero.
I was about to say I'm on some Luffy shit. I don't want to be a hero. I want to be that dude in the background that nobody notices, and I get everything I want, but nobody notices that I got it. That's all I want.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. You can want whatever you want, but it's just like it just creates such a like shitty dynamic when everybody wants to be the hero and everybody wants to save the day and help those that get like. Man, we ain't living in the. It is in this era. People can defend themselves, and when they need to, they ask for help. Stop trying to pick. And it's the thing. You're not even fighting people's battles for them. You're picking battles for them for no reason.
Inheriting other people's beefs.
Yeah, straight up. Or opening beefs for people that want nothing to do with that.
Yeah. Yo, like Devil, like this literally makes no sense. He said, "Twale, you said I would never willingly date a prostitute, implying you would if they force you to."
Oh, willingly. Oh, yeah. Okay.
Oh, wow.
No, you did say that. That's fair. That's fair. He's got you there.
No, he doesn't. Because if they force me to date them, then that's rape, nigga.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, if you're getting forced, then yeah, you kind of are doing it.
Yeah. All right. Let's not go. Let's just back away from that right now because that's going to open a hole.
Niggas is handcuffing me to the bed or something. Because like, if I get to go home, I'm leaving and never coming. Like, like trying to set me up, man. I don't like that.
He's setting you up.
But yeah, I think we pretty much covered what we wanted to talk about. If we got anything else to say, then say your piece now.
I think that covered everything.
I was about to say, I think we said pretty much everything.
Yeah. I mean, we could go more in depth, but that would just be bringing up old topics that we already brought up.
Yeah, that'd just be touching back up on stuff like that. I think we've gotten the point across.
Yeah. So good discussion. We went over like an hour. I was pretty satisfied with this conversation, and we'll just leave it at that because we might piss even more people off if we go more in depth. So
I think we've already made enough people angry.
I have no qualms about pissing people off. That has never been an issue.
Hey, I've never cared about pissing people off either.
I was about to say that is never like. If you're pissed off by anything we said in this discussion, then this discussion was for you.
Yep. Or as I like to say, fuck you.
Yeah. Hell, even the other way around. If anything in this conversation pissed you off, think about what we said.
Yeah, I think they're too busy being pissed off to listen to what we said.
Fair enough. You got me there, but you know what? You can always try, right?
Yeah, I guess. With that, we'll end it.